Eddie.
What?
He's the host.
I am hosting?
You are hosting?
He's the host.
I am the hoster.
After we took our 1 week break.
1
Yes.
week.
That's
we took
that's
a 1
what
week
that
break.
was. I'm just not in the, I'm not in the...
None of us are.
Not in the zone. Not in the zone.
Auto zone.
Yes, that's what I
I
was
hope you're
going
not
for.
recording.
No, definitely not.
He's always recording, dude.
God damn it.
Are we going back to that meme?
Are we
Are we
recording?
recording? This is the question.
My eyes hurt.
Same. It's been a while.
And then we get demonetized.
Thank you, everybody, for listening in again to another episode of That One Time I Reincarnated as a Podcaster.
He got it wrong, dude. The first time he reads it right, and it's not even the right name.
Reincarnated as a Podcaster.
There you go.
That one time we reincarnated.
We're toddy raps.
Toddy
It's the same
rap,
as
whatever.
It's
It's
the
all,
second time.
it's all the same, I
Used to be
guess.
rap.
No, I get
Rhythm and poetry?
that.
Have you listened to rap? There's neither of those.
That's what it's supposed to be.
According to Apex Legends, that's a slur.
The
Rap?
toddy rap.
Toddy rap is a slur.
Oh, yeah, because you put that in as something,
I don't
right?
think it's a slur. I think it's more because toddy might be titty.
What are you trying to say? Titty rap?
Titty
Titty
rap.
rap.
Titty rap.
Something like that. And
Oh,
we're
you
like,
be titty rap, guys.
you can't use this because it's offensive. I'm like, okay, guy.
Good moderator guy.
Yeah.
I see you. But yeah, thank you for joining us again. I am your host for today, the Ed Boy. I am joined by the Broskies, by the Bob and the Forest,
There you go.
or the Forest and the Bob.
Force through the bob.
Whoa.
Bob in the
Bob
forest.
through the forest.
Bob in the forest?
Bob, no, Force and the bob. So I was going to say that in the first place, but I was like, nah, I shouldn't say that. But then you brought it up, so who cares?
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's only been 2 weeks for you guys because this is our December 2nd podcast.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We're recording this on Black Friday. We took a whole week off. Technically, we took
1 week off.
we took about a month off and we recorded a lot straight. Ooh.
Hell yeah.
But now we have to catch up on all the movies we watched.
Everything.
Everything came out.
A lot came
and everything
out.
is going to come out
In the next month.
the next month. Oh, I did watch the 007 movie.
Oh, you did?
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, I fucked up because I watched the new one, right?
And then you went back to
And-
watch the old one?
I didn't finish the one before, so I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? And why is he important?
It's okay. I totally forgot about 90% of the characters anyway. I was like,
Yeah,
who
it's
is that?
like-
Oh, that was that guy.
Why are you married to this girl? Who's this black guy already in jail? And then I'm just, I have to go back.
And it's funny, I don't really remember much of Spectre. I mean, Spectre's not a great movie. In my head, all I remember is Christoph Waltz is Blofeld,
Okay.
and that's it. That's all I remember. Oh, and there's that blonde chick.
I only remember the Mexico City scene.
Oh, yeah, the beginning
That's
of
all
the
I
movie.
remember.
And how Mexico City changed their Day of the Dead celebrations after that movie to emulate kind of what that movie shows. Because that's
Really?
not how it was.
They
Changed it?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
Because, I mean, Mexico City doesn't really throw anything huge for Day of the Dead. Some of the cities on the outskirts and stuff, you might see some cool things. You know, there's the traditional stuff.
The outskirts of the pueblos.
Sure. But I mean, but you do see, you know, the standard traditional stuff for that time period, right? You know, you see like the paper, I don't remember what they're called. No.
Paper mache?
No. Like those cutouts they do. Like, you know how kids do snowflakes here?
Yeah.
But instead they do like the Llorona there?
Yeah.
The same bullshit.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So you see those and like the bread. Oh, fucking
that
dude,
bread's
the Pan de
good.
Muertos so good.
It's so good.
But okay. But you know, the beginning of Spectre, you have, you know, the large, big parade and, you know, that shit. Yeah, that don't happen. But after that movie, it happens now.
So you're telling me movies are lying to me? Wow.
Well, technically, that one's not lying anymore.
How many movies are appropriating false traditions?
They're creating new
We should
traditions.
cancel Bond.
I mean, he's over already,
He's
so
over.
you
You
didn't.
can't-
No. The whole franchise.
I don't know. People probably tried.
Probably.
It's not like he's the most friendly character for this time period.
You're not wrong.
If you watch those early ones,
The Sean Connery ones.
oh yeah,
What's wrong with Sean Connery, guys?
everything.
He's a great guy.
Is he still alive?
Yeah.
Yes.
Still, wait.
Of course he is.
No.
Yeah, Sean Connery's alive. Oh, I have to look it up. Okay,
Where's our producer?
I'm
to
producing.
fact
Give me a
check?
second.
What was the stupid meme? Jamie, pull it up. So fucking stupid.
One day we'll have that guy. Conrad, pull it up.
No, he died last year.
Oh, that's right. I remember hearing about it. Yeah, Sean Connery did die.
He did 2020.
Yep.
Life can't. 2020 canceled him. Literally,
Death canceled him.
death canceled him.
Sure.
That's how that works.
I guess we're starting with Bond then.
Yeah. Let's start with Bond.
Good movie.
I enjoyed it.
What'd you think of it?
I liked it. To me, the tier of the what's his name?
The Daniel Craig Bond.
Daniel. I was gonna say Greg Daniel.
He's Japanese
If
now.
the movie was set in Japan, so it makes sense.
It's
Part of it was. Yeah, that's right.
To me, it's Casino Royale number
Yep.
one.
Yep.
Casino Royale's number one.
Then that one.
Yep.
Then Skyfall.
Skyfall's after this one?
Yeah. And then
Okay.
Spectre. And then
Quantum of Solace.
yeah, fuck that movie.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember Quantum Solace at all. So
Good.
It's not.
I don't know where to put it.
It's not great. It's at my bottom. I just switched this movie in Skyfall.
I remember that one because there's a video game
Yeah.
that makes you go through the movie.
Oh, you played
I
that?
played that game.
I don't know. I thought this one was really up there comparatively. I thought this
Oh, I
was gonna
loved
be a
it.
dumpster fire.
Yeah.
Because since the last one was a dumpster fire, I'm
Uh-huh.
like, they're not going to save it. But they saved it.
It was pretty good. Yeah, it's
surprisingly.
very good.
I do have issues with the length.
I feel it could have been better if they didn't have to tie some loose ends from the previous movie.
Like the whole beginning is just
Uh-huh.
a worthless 20-minute dump of time. I'm just like, okay,
I don't know,
cool.
dude. My favorite part is when they introduced that one girl,
Best girl?
best girl, only girl.
Best girl.
And
She's
she
best
ha-
girl, but
she
it's
had
a
her
waste.
20 minutes of fame,
Yeah.
or what in that movie. And I was like,
And then
that's all I needed.
That's all I needed.
That's all I needed.
I'm good.
And the movie could have ended right here.
I would have been a happy person.
See, the problem is that could have been in the other movie.
I don't think it could have. I mean,
What
Spectre-
did it do in this movie?
nothing.
Yeah,
But it's
so
a
it could've
James.
been in
But it's a
another
James
movie.
Bond film. It just has all this shit.
Yeah, that's 20 minutes
That's
of a
what they-
2.5-hour movie.
I understand this.
That could have been cut down.
Dude, that took for. I was watching it at work, and it kept buffering.
Oh, really?
So
We had the
instead
same issue on our
Instead
end.
of 2.5 hours, it was like 3.5.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
what it was ours
bro.
too. Because
I started at my lunch. I'm about to go home.
I'm just sitting here. I'm like, the movie just doesn't end. I'm like, there's a lot of stuff that you know,
Yeah.
could have been cut pretty hard. Even the stuff in the beginning with him leaving the girl
Yeah.
was pretty over dramatic, which is fine.
I know that beginning scene was pretty.
It was
nice.
good. It was a
real
good scene.
Yeah,
But it's a
I was just like, who is she? What's going on?
Oh, because you didn't remember the last movie.
I was like, oh, I remember
Yeah.
her.
I'm just like,
I
good for
think.
Bond. He settled down.
Yeah.
Nice.
But then he dumps her right there. And
Yep.
like, go on the train. Sign the papers. Goodbye.
Divorce me right now.
Right now.
I thought that was kind of weird though, where he's just like, I'm leaving you, and he just, puts her on the train, and she's running to see him. He disappears, blah, blah, blah. Wasn't he still being chased by bad guys at that point?
Yeah.
No, they escape, I think, at that point.
Oh, I thought he was still being chased.
Oh, I
No.
thought because they the cars flipped, and then they ran a little bit, and then they were on the train. I'm like, they only went like 20 feet from the car chase. Like,
I remember that scene where they're in the car.
I mean-
getting blasted.
Oh.
And she's like, do something. No. Do something. Oh, okay.
I thought he was like, I am. Starts rolling down the window. Fuck you. That's all I'm gonna do.
I mean, technically, they actually moved like a lot of miles.
Yeah, they ran like 10 kilometers and like
Because I
half a
think
minute.
that train station is in a completely other. I mean, it is in another city in Italy, but it's a lot further away than the other
How
one.
many movies are lying to me?
Always.
You're telling me that's not what Italy looks like? It's all not tied together by 2 inches of screen?
Huh?
Damn, crazy.
But that location at the beginning is just.
It's a nice scene.
It's nice.
Okay, when you watched the movie, did you have subtitles at the beginning?
No.
No, I was like, what the fuck am I watching? It's all in French. I don't speak French. I don't know what's going on.
You just.
I'm just guessing.
Yep.
This
That's all I guess.
conversation.
I'm just
like,
looking up.
It's just context. That it's
Yeah.
all in the facial expression.
Yeah, like, the mom's an asshole. This girl obviously is the caretaker. Song's about to go down. Mom dead. Cool.
I think it was the movie theater's fault that they just didn't put subtitles or something.
Whoa.
Of course, I think it was supposed to be subtitled.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I almost feel like that's just how it is.
I even put the CC or whatever.
Yeah,
same.
it's a speaking French.
Only the noises were like, yeah, or no.
Because I'm pretty sure if it was supposed to be in the film, then it wouldn't have been a problem. It would have been on there. It wouldn't have been like you adding subtitles. It would have just been on the film.
Makes sense.
Like when you're watching, like for instance, taking Glorious Bastards.
Yeah.
Every time they speak in a foreign language, it's there. You don't have to turn subtitles on. It's just part of the film. So I feel like if they really meant for it to be subtitled in a way we would understand, it would have been on the film.
It's a deliberate choice.
It's a deliberate choice.
Yeah. I'm just reading it now.
Okay, dude. I thought it was I'm like, bro, where are my subtitles?
No, it's a deliberate choice.
Sure, a weird deliberate choice.
Yeah.
I think it's stupid. It's like, you want information? Learn the language, fucker. It's like, okay, sure. Go fuck yourself. Then.
Let me get my French to English dictionary.
What word did you say again?
Let me go back.
I mean, I necessarily, I don't even think what they're saying is that important to exposition anyway, as much as the emotions behind it. But because
I think I got what was going on.
yeah, because I don't really think they said anything important, to be honest. It was just very, normal. And that's probably why they didn't even bother.
I think this movie wouldn't
They just got lazy.
exist if the little girl would have just double tap, and then the movie would have been over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably.
But not just like, I'm gonna leave. I'm not gonna check. I'm just gonna drag him outside.
Yeah, that's a big brain.
Big brain.
And then she would almost not died and then got saved because
Yeah.
I'd been like, fuck you. Because I thought that was stupid too. It was like, you have a life debt to me because I saved your life as a kid. I'd been like, I didn't double tap your ass. You owe me. We're even. Fuck you. Just leave.
I walk away. You walk away. We don't speak of
Shake
this.
hands. Here we go.
You spit on me.
Blood pact. Here we
Oh
go.
god.
I don't know if the same thing happens because I feel like that's not the only like interaction they've had over the years. Obviously,
You think?
no. There's probably a lot more in between.
That makes it even worse.
Well,
Yeah,
I don't know. It doesn't feel like it.
I mean, because film jumps around in
Yeah, I
time,
know.
but I don't think she would have the reaction she would unless there's like a deep seated something.
That's pretty
like
deep seated.
No,
if that
no,
happened
no.
to me, I'd remember it for the rest
No,
of
no.
time.
But I mean,
She fucking moved back to the house.
she did.
Well, she's stupid.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That
She
was
had a
the
kid.
house.
Yeah, that was the house.
That was the house.
Fucking house.
Just a different kid, same house. It must be their kid. Oh my god.
Yep.
Who the fuck moves into the same house where your mom was murdered and shit?
Mob people,
Dumbasses.
people that work for
No,
weird
big brain.
agencies.
She's like, I'm poor. This house is paid for. Why not just move back in?
There you go.
I don't think it's paid for at that point. I'm pretty sure it's taken
the
away.
life insurance paid for it. Anyway,
Inherited.
Another another scene that I liked was when they were in the forest.
Oh, that was
Oh, yeah.
good.
10 out
That
of
was
10.
top tier.
It's top tier scene.
I was waiting for her to shoot Bond by accident.
That's what I was looking
I'm
for.
like, here it comes. Bam. Oh, shit.
I mean, I like the Cuba stuff
Love the Cuba stuff.
because of Best Girl.
Best girl. She's in John Wick 4.
Is she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully she has more screen time and more useful.
True. It was,
Yeah.
I felt like more like fan
And-
service.
Yeah.
But in Bond, it was, yes.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Can't fuck her though.
I know. That's why I sound like this is just a waste of a scene. Accomplished nothing.
I hate it when they kill the one guy in the boat.
Oh, Felix.
I forgot his name.
Yeah, lighter.
yeah.
Yeah, the
dude
CIA
from,
guy.
The
Yeah.
dude from Westworld.
I forgot about that scene.
The guy who was in Casino Royale.
Yeah.
He was in Casino Royale?
Yeah, he's in Casino Royale.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Oh, like, bro, he died.
I think this was like, this whole movie's a cleanup.
That's all it
Oh,
was.
yeah.
Yeah, this
It's
is like
we gotta sweep everything out of here. Let's go.
everybody gonna die.
Pretty much.
Spoiler alert.
I don't know. I never said it. I just said everybody could.
No, I was gonna say it.
Oh, that what's her name dies? The baby
The kid dies.
kid dies.
Kid dies?
No.
No, okay. I don't remember that shit. I thought they saved the kid.
They're like, your dad died. Pop, and they shot her in the head.
Different movie.
Oh, that's Shang Chi. Never mind.
Bond dies.
What? Wait, what movie were you watching?
Sean Connery.
Oh, Shang Chi. Never died in those.
I felt like it was pretty satisfying and into his story or
I
whatever.
thought it was fun.
No, he did. Well, Sean Connery technically did die in one of those.
Really?
Yeah, because there's a jump, right? There's a skip.
Yeah.
So is it Thunderball? Yeah, okay. So I think it's Thunderball. So between Thunderball, there's like Your Majesty's Secret Service, which was that other guy.
Yeah.
And then he comes back and You Only Live Twice.
Yeah.
So technically in You Only Live Twice, he did.
Well, he
And
lives
he
twice.
comes back.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, and then that's his last foray.
Anyway, and this one I thought it died fine. But I thought it was a good
Yeah.
end to him.
Yeah.
I didn't know how you would do it because I'm like, well, in my mind, when they had the serum that kills people when they touch because of stupid
Nanobots.
shit. Yeah. I
Technology.
thought he was going to stab the
Technology.
girl,
Yeah.
and basically she was going to like hug Bond and she was going to kill Bond.
Oh.
But then she would kill the kid and
yeah,
you couldn't
yeah,
do
yeah.
that. And I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, they won't do that.
I think one thing that I
much of
hated
a
is
bitch.
that they didn't flesh out the one bad guy. What's
The villain,
What's the actor's name though?
Rami Malek.
Yes. I was gonna say that guy from Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, it's the same guy. It's Rami Malek.
Yeah, it's that guy. It just felt like there wasn't really any substance to him.
No,
He was just kind of there.
he's just a generic Bond villain.
yeah. I'm just like, wow, what a waste. of a
I
villain.
think the issue is they had too much. And they're like, we either flesh him out or we clean up everything else. I'm like, I'd rather.
Because his character's a plot device.
Yeah.
It's
It
all
just
it is.
pushes shit
Yeah.
forward. That's all
It's just meant to be the reason why we're gonna kill all these characters off. That is his purpose.
I was so excited. Oh, he's a bad guy. He's a good actor.
He looked like a real good bad guy. Like he seemed like he was gonna have a decent story.
Yeah.
And then they're like,
wasn't.
nah, he doesn't need a story.
Like they did have one, he has his
he had the
backstory. He has his
one
reason.
bad
Yeah.
guy scene. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he has his reasons for doing what he's doing, but it's your traditional.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But at that
nothing.
point,
it's
like, you
nothing
don't really
crazy.
care. You're
Yeah.
like,
Like every true bad guy, they
Yeah.
did one thing wrong a long time ago, and now they'll do something in the future, 30 years later, when it makes a sense. And it's like,
they
fuck
have
it.
to gather resources and money to.
I think he had the money. He had how many life insurances? Too soon.
Too many.
His whole family.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. That's what his purpose served. His purpose is like I'm gonna clean everything up and then I'm gonna die.
Pretty much.
Solid 8.
That's what I wrote on my phone. I gave it an 8. Eddie
Same.
gives it a 0. I was gonna say
7.5.
7.5.
I'm the one shitting on it.
Yeah,
Do you think Skyfall's better than this one?
I do.
Shake your head, Bob.
Looks better music, better villain.
The villain was pretty good.
You telling me that one scene that lasted 20 minutes wasn't make it an 8?
Which one?
Your girl, best girl. You must not like best girl is what he's saying. He's like, that 20 minutes was not worth it, I guess.
And 6?
Yes.
It's not enough. It's good, but
Maybe for me is because of what's it called? It was more recent in my brain, in my smooth
No.
brain. I'm like, Skyfall was, I don't know, 6 years ago.
yeah,
It was too long.
it was a while ago.
That's the issue I felt like with this movie was it was like you needed to know the other movies, and my brain's like,
It's
we just watched Shang-Chi. You remember that, right? Sure.
it's interesting because this is the only like stint of Bond where they've done that.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you go back and watch anything, there's no real continuity to it.
They're all one-shots,
Yeah,
basically.
maybe you can say from maybe one movie to another there's a tie. Like Jaws is in both Moonraker and The Spy Who Loved Me, which are the Roger Moore films. But that's it, right? There's no real tie-in. Even like the Pierce Brosnan ones, there's, we talk about the end to a Bond. This is the only Bond that's had an end. If you like, I mean, Sean Connery's is kind of there. Roger Moore's doesn't exist.
No.
Brosnan's doesn't exist. Timothy Dalton only did 2 films. I mean, you don't.
None of them exist. I got you.
Yeah. But I mean, it's the first time you have like an overarching kind of plot over the course of all these films. And it's interesting the ups and downs it does while it attempts to do this.
Yeah. I think it's good. Like all together, I think it's one of the better Bonds.
Yeah.
Straight through.
Mm-hmm.
But it had some pretty downs.
Of
but
course.
I feel like all the Bonds have like any Bond that has had more than like a movie or two.
Yeah.
There is a bad movie, I'd argue. But
I just don't like how it went from Casino Royale amazing to absolute shit.
Yep.
I'm like, how?
I felt like Quantum is just really basic.
mm-hmm.
It's like negative basic.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like generic action movie, just in general. This is just
Like,
generic.
if you just throw Michael Bay in there,
Not even like it's almost like I watched like Bourne, which I mean the Bourne movies are pretty decent at the beginning, or Taken, something like that. It's like your generic action movie. I feel like that's kind of what Quantum was. There are parts of Quantum that I do enjoy what they did with Bond's character, which is interesting, but the movie overall just doesn't make up for it. And then you have The High of Skyfall, which is probably a movie too pretty to be a Bond film, because you have Roger Deakins and Sam Mendes. And then you had Spectre, which was just a slog. And I think that's the biggest problem with Spectre, because Spectre is almost as long as this film is.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing happens in all of the movie.
so boring.
Well, I feel like the issue is with Spectre compared to this. It's like it said nothing happens, and then this one, too much happens. They're like, you want all the action scenes that we didn't put in this movie? We're just gonna do that.
Yeah. And I mean, it makes me sad. Well, when coming into Spectre, I was really excited to have Christoph Waltz as Blofeld, because Christoph Waltz is just a great actor, and you like, especially as a villain, you take his Hans Landa in Inglourious Bastards, one of the best movie villains ever written. And I was hoping to get a little bit of like that in Bond, and it was wasted. It was wasted.
I agree with that.
Yep.
You know what's a better movie than this?
Ooh, I got it.
Guess. Too long.
Too long.
Shang-Chi.
Oh,
Into the next film we watched.
Shang-Chi was amazing.
I really liked it.
I think this is.
I enjoyed it quite a bit.
I think this is one of Marvel's best
Uh-huh.
movies.
I liked it more than Black Panther.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I mean,
not too hard
I
for
also
me.
have a personal bias with like kung fu movies and all
Yeah.
that stuff, and that definitely seeps into this
Because this had the kung fu movie down with the
Marvel.
Marvel.
Yeah.
It's this movie is what, fuck, the other Mortal Kombat movie wanted to be.
Yeah.
Because they're like, yeah, we want a martial arts movie with magic, and they're like, Marvel's like, I got you.
Because I mean, this is a Marvel film.
Yeah.
Like through and through. It hits all the beats. It the thing is, but it's just that little injection of that like kung fu style.
Dude, those scenes are beautiful.
Yep, that are just like
Choreography?
oof.
This is what fight scenes should look like.
It was great. I enjoyed it a bit.
What's the guy? Famous kung fu recent.
Ip Man, that guy.
That guy, yeah. Why is he?
Donnie
Donnie
Yen?
Yen?
Yeah, why is he in this movie? What the fuck?
That's a good question.
Shang-Chi
Who's your
2.
character?
Yeah, when is he joining the Marvel
He's
universe?
gonna be the Iron Fist.
Oh,
Instead of like the white guy that the character is. I hated that fucking show.
the only part I didn't like about this movie was the part where like they introduced the fake Mandarin.
I love that fucking part.
Like it was just funny. It was just like I don't care about this part.
It's just funny.
It's just funny.
no-
It's just meant to be a joke.
God.
It's meant to be a Marvel be like, hee, we know Iron Man 3 was bad.
Well, all I pictured was what they were doing is like, we got a good dramatic kung fu movie, but we're Marvel.
Yeah.
We need more jokes. Let's add him in the beginning. I'd also consider is pretty just
Yeah.
jokey. It's
some,
very
some
slow.
of the
but-
jokes feel off to me sometimes. I'm like, yeah, you didn't have to put a joke.
Yeah,
in
but
Well, that's just what
Marvel,
Marvel does.
yeah.
Marvel's just like, things are getting a little too serious here. Hey, joke.
We are a kids movie, kind of.
I mean, sure. I get it.
But like I said, I had no real issues. Like the beginning was a little slow learning about like some of the characters, but I liked all the actors and even the what's her name?
Aquafina.
Aquafina. She was pretty funny.
She's so great.
At first, I'm like, they chose her in this movie. And I'm like, that's
No,
a good choice.
after
This is a good choice.
after watching Jumanji 2,
No, I guess
I
that's true.
understand.
That's true.
Oh, that's why she
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
her Danny DeVito impression, it's great.
She's so funny.
Is great.
'Cause that's what, like at first I'm like, she's an interesting choice because she's got like that New York accent.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, it's gonna be weird. You gotta get the New York accent with the Korean or Chinese or whatever it is. But I'm just like, this is weird. But I'm like, this works out really well. And then you have her sister.
His sister.
His sister.
Yeah.
Which she was interesting too as a main character. I didn't expect her to be so important. And I was like, wow, she's pretty good.
Yep.
Pretty useful.
Oh man, that fight scene in the trolley or whatever. That
In the
first
bus.
big fight
Yeah,
scene,
that one's
yeah.
great.
Like, wow.
This is Marvel does Jackie Chan.
That's pretty much what I thought. Like, we're gonna use props here. Perfect. But other than that, like the only thing that was interesting that I think really twisted it was when they went from, I guess it's all Earth, but when they went to the other realm.
Oh yeah.
I was like, man, this movie went from like realism to somewhere else.
Well, there's parts of this movie where I'm just like, we've just hidden Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon territory. Let's go.
At first, to me, was the one when they went to a different dimension and there was like a tournament of like all these other random persons, I guess, or creatures.
Well, it's not another dimension.
Well,
it's it's in China.
Yeah.
They go and fucking Abominations there.
Yeah.
Fighting the what's his face?
His name, but that guy.
The cool guy.
Fuck's going on?
The guy from Doctor Strange. Wong. Yeah, there you go.
I
That's
love
his
that
name.
guy. He's so fucking good.
Guy's great.
When he was in the movie, anytime he was in the movie, made me laugh. I was like, this guy's great. I did think when they were fighting who's the bad guy? The Elder God? Like,
Oh,
Shadow,
the
Nightmare.
creeps in the darkness, something like that.
something,
Creeps.
something
I
like
can't
that.
something like
He's
that.
like an
Dweller
elder
in the
god.
Dweller in the darkness.
Yeah.
It's like one of Cthulhu's kids or some bullshit.
Yeah. I was expecting him to come out and just do something. I was like, here they come. Like, no, he's just a dragon came. I don't know where the dragon came from, but fuck yeah, I guess.
Because it can't be a fantasy Chinese movie without a bomb ass dragon.
Water bending dragon.
The part that I didn't like, it's just a tiny scene. It's where like there's the bad guy with like the knife for an arm
Oh yeah.
is fighting this other person, and at first they're like, "Hey, we should join forces to kill these like creeps or whatever, right?" And he's like, "Nah, fuck you." And then someone dies, and he's like, "Nah, yeah, we should."
I think it was more of the comedy. I was
just
like,
like,
yeah, it's okay. Yeah, we fucked up, I think.
I was like, felt really flat to me.
Yeah.
There's I just can't think of anything. Like, I have issues. Like, this is probably one of the highest rated movies I'd put up there.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand if your criticisms are problems that you have with Marvel movies in general. Mm-hmm. I do understand this, right? I mean, the formula does get a little stale every so often. We'll take something like Black Widow, for instance, right?
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that next.
I don't know. We can briefly
I hope not.
touch on
Do you
it,
want
I
to rate
guess.
this before we move to the
No,
next
we do.
one?
I'm just saying there's just a mention, right?
Oh,
Because that's a recent Marvel
Yeah.
film that isn't a show. Technically, I think it's the only one that isn't other than Eternals, but it's not like we've seen that one either, right?
I thought it was garbage, but anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
surprised.
I mean, it tried to break away from Marvel stuff, but I don't know.
That's the issue.
I mean, it can be done sometimes. I mean, you can do it to varying degrees, like this movie did.
Like, I don't think the Winter Soldier was very like, haha, tee hee.
No, but then when the Russo brothers started, I think they started very serious. Because that's kind of how, like, when
even Iron Man was that way. It's
yeah,
pretty
because I
serious.
think Winter Soldier was supposed to be the hard left from Captain America 1. That was like super campy and super just like tee-hee. I mean, it was directed by the same guy who did The Rocketeer, right? So it's that campy, superhero that you could still see traces of like 90s superheroes movies in there. Yeah. And then Winter Soldier is just that hard, that okay, we're going the other way. And I feel like a lot of those movies from that time period goes that way. I mean, Black Panther kind of stays in that area a little bit. And all
There's
those
still
films.
Marvel movies through and through.
Oh yeah,
basically.
no, obviously, yeah. You have the big CG set piece at the end, always, like every Marvel movie has to have.
Yep. We need to fight as many things as possible with as many people.
Yeah, exactly.
CG.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just the way every Marvel movie ends, right? You have to have a big CG slugfest.
Yeah.
That's just how they end. Where you don't, there's no real stakes or anything. This is just the set piece because the hero has to win.
Well, don't have to. I'd argue the first Avengers movie was a hero had to lose.
No, they won. It was more. I mean, Infinity War is probably the first one where they all.
Well, that's
really
what
lost.
I meant.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But then,
big loss.
See that, and that's what makes that movie fresh in a certain degree. But
yeah,
it mostly, for the most part, especially if it isn't like an ensemble film. The CG slugfest is it's just the way it's gonna work.
Looks nice.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. It's just fun to see the spectacle. Yeah, it's those types of movies you go to see the movie magic.
Have you ever seen us at the end where they're talking of like all the shit they experienced to the other couple? And they're like, what the fuck?
They're like, yeah, right.
Like, are you mocking me?
And then Wong shows up, hey, let's go.
And they're just like, what?
I do like to imagine living in that world and you're just like sitting there at the bar and fucking some superhero just opens a fucking portal. He's like, yo, let's go. Everyone's like, oh, hey, look at the best boy.
That must be like, it's such a, you think about the logistics of living in one of these, like whether it be something ridiculous, like even more ridiculous, like the DC world, or you take like the Marvel one, like the idea of being a normal person in this world where fucking aliens come down blowing shit up and you have like a Jeff Bezos puts on a armor and he fights terrorists and
Jeff Bezos.
I mean that's the closest equivalent, right?
Yeah.
Or Elon Musk, I guess.
Dude,
right?
if I lived in that universe, I'd be like the crazy people now that live in bunkers and are armed to the teeth.
Yep.
I'd be like, they're coming down, I'm gonna fucking blow them up.
I mean,
You get snapped.
you have teenagers with the strength of who knows what that can swing from buildings. I mean, it's like there's gods.
There's gods.
There's fucking gods that just chilling in places.
I just thought of something. Very important America question. So you know how when you get snapped,
Yeah.
do you lose all your clothing?
I don't think so.
So if I'm carrying my AR, am I going to go with my AR up to the...
Sure.
to the
Maybe.
Americans, do you hear that? You can be snapped with your guns.
You come back with your gun?
You're like,
I mean, sure. But I mean,
wait, so you get poofed back into your house, but somebody else is now in your house because they legally own it. Get out of my house.
Damn. Squatters, dude.
well, not even. They probably legally sold your house. It's 5 years.
They're like, hey, I don't know where you at, but someone else's house now.
You start blasting when you
I mean,
land.
that's interesting. Like, you think of like the logistics of what that means, right? And I mean, the movies barely touch on it,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Because no one
Of course not.
wants to deal with the boring politics of what it means.
Well, how many orphans would there be?
Oh,
Yeah,
Like,
what it means to live in that kind of world.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier touch on that.
Yeah.
Like how complicated it is. I'm like, fuck that, dude.
I mean, like, what is it? Like, you think of like what starts Civil War and and all that stuff. I mean, just living in this world is fucking nuts. These people are made of different stuff.
The mass production that would stop. All the stuff you'd have to figure out what's important. Fuck, man. I'd be like, it's not worth it.
That's not to mention you never know when the next fucking alien's gonna come down and be like, "This world is mine now."
Well, there's half of those too.
Yeah.
Well, the issue would be like, I'm just picturing it like you snap, it's like, oh, the pilot's gone out of your airplane, or there's so much like you would lose.
Oh yeah, it's like the ending of that movie where you have like the Nick Fury scene where the fucking helicopter bashes into like the everything because you just see the mass destruction that causes.
I think that's less damaging than snapping all those people back in. Because you have the society, after 5 years, you've built towards how many people. Now multiply that by 2 out of nowhere, you'd be fucked. You'd be like, where'd all the food go?
I mean, you could have a certain level of surplus, right? But at
but there's not adding 1 billion other people to your surplus out of nowhere. You'd be like, shit.
Let's see. I think we're almost at 7 billion at this point, right? Sure. Or almost 8, something like that. So it's one of those two numbers.
4.5.
4.5 billion people that just appear.
Yeah.
And they're all homeless.
Except the guy, he's got his gun in his house shooting the people that live there now.
I mean, the logistics of it are just insane.
I'm telling you, that would be way more damaging than the other way around.
Oh, yeah,
Because that would be future damage that you have to fix. Because you're not going to balance. But you're going to be like, those people are gone. There's no way we're bringing those people back.
You would never think so, right? An alien, a god descended from the heavens, basically, and just went, bam, wipe out half of existence. Because, I mean, how else would the normal person see this, right? Like, you think you can rationalize in your head. You can be like, well, this fucking giant purple alien came down, right? And then everybody died.
Half of the population.
Yeah. But it's like, how does your brain, like, how does a person deal with just the sheer depth? And this is only the few years after aliens came down from the sky and blew up New York. A freaking city in Europe was lifted into the heavens.
Now the real question is, what would have happened if he snapped and he disappeared?
That would have been funny.
What if half of him disappeared?
He's just floating there with the glove half. Because he said he was part of the chance of being selected.
Oh, shit.
Maybe the glove just drops. The gems disperse. I don't know.
Damn. Finally, like the Dragon Balls.
Yeah.
Like, make a wish.
Yeah. Disperse, dude. I mean, it's comic logic, right?
Yeah.
I picture it would have been funny. Just drops on the floor. They're like, oh, okay. Just re-snap it. It's like, fucking asshole.
My other question is, what are the logistics of using the Infinity Stones? Do you just know? You have all of cosmic power in a glove in your hand, right?
It's in your head.
Oh, okay.
Like you just think
about it.
It just happens.
Okay.
You don't have to like speak it out loud. Like, I wish for anything.
No. I
wish.
But like, is there any like mental hoops your brain has to go through to actually get it to do the thing you want without any repercussions?
Now, does the glove also register when you snap back where people were?
I don't know.
In time and
who knows?
Because like, so either A, what about the guy flying the helicopter? When he snaps back, is he in the air? Still there?
Is he in the air?
He's still in the air and he just dies.
Yeah.
What? Or is it like super time and space where it's like, all the planets move from where they were?
Yeah.
So does everyone just spawn into like the middle of space?
Okay, wait. What if you were a farmer, right? You're just farming, you disappear. But then, I don't know, 5 years happened and then your land was developed. Did you spend
You're like half in a house?
Yeah.
Does it like shut you? Like
What are the logistics of infinite cosmic power?
Yeah, and is it like, how you can have lights and just go and it turns off? Is it like that? Like this giant light bulb and you're like
here's the thing, right? So when Tony Stark re-snapped, right? Does he set parameters in his head, right? Does a drop down menu come up in his head, just like,
where do you want these people?
Yeah, I want to bring these people back that are who knows where in time and space. I want to put them in a place. It's like the D&D teleportation logic, right? Yeah. Where like a spell says like if you're in a wall and you come back, it'll shunt you to the next space, but you take some damage. Does it work the same way?
Do people take damage? I was like, my arm.
Are these
develop cancer?
Are these parameters that you set while snapping?
But you also got to think. So in that movie, when they snap everyone back,
all
the superheroes are now ready for battle. So if I got snapped back in, I'd be like, okay, I need like a day. Like,
Where'd I go? What happened?
how long has it been? No, it's like they get snapped back in and they're like, time to fight.
No, I mean there is a little bit of. I think there is.
No, it's like instant.
Oh no, it is like
the
instant.
battlefield.
Yeah.
They do it on the battle. They're like, we're bringing people back.
And Doctor Strange is like, I'm ready. Infinite portals.
Too powerful.
Guess we'll never understand.
No,
Comics just don't make sense, guys.
I don't think they're supposed to.
Oh my god.
Oh my
They have a different rule set. It's different logic.
cosmic power can't comprehend.
I'd like to say 9.5. I give Shang Chi.
Damn.
After this whole conversation,
9.
9.
I was gonna give it like an 8.5, but damn.
I think it's almost perfection. Because I even think Infinity War and the other ones like
Endgame?
a 9.
Yeah,
I think this is better than those.
I don't know if I like this more than Infinity War. I can say I like this more than Endgame, but I can't say I like this more than Infinity War.
Because I can watch this
I
movie
think
way
to me,
more.
I think the movie. I'm not gonna do all of them, but like the main ones, like Infinity War is the best one,
Okay.
and then Winter Soldier,
Okay.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
Okay.
then Black Panther,
Okay,
and then everything else.
Everything.
that works for me. I don't know because I have Thor Ragnarok up there
Oh,
pretty high.
Ragnarok's really
Pretty
high
good.
for me.
Yeah, because that movie's just
See, my issue
It's
is
amazing.
I bumped down Winter Soldier. Like, I think Winter Soldier's a great movie.
Yeah.
I just don't like Captain America.
I don't
at
like
all.
him either. I
I'm
hate
just-
him.
Yeah, I'm just like, I can't give him.
He's scared to death.
But yeah, I'd have to put Thor probably. And
for me
Two or three.
Ragnarok is pretty high.
maybe
up
my
there.
number one might even be Thor 2.
Oof. I thought you were gonna say Black Widow.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Oh boy,
Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3.
No,
Man
it's that's number 2.
Oof.
Oh boy,
Do you want to talk about Black Widow?
No.
I didn't see it.
Nah,
it's
it's just bad.
it's not great.
It's bad.
So it's like a 5,
Straight, like a 2.
2. Ooh.
Wow, that's low.
I
I didn't think I was gonna put it that low, but
I didn't like it. It's
Okay,
bad.
okay, that's fine. So another superhero movie we watched was Suicide Squad.
again, but we already talked about that.
I just being the asshole. But I did watch. So I ended up watching Venom 1
Uh-huh.
and Venom 2.
Me too. Well, we encountered technical difficulties.
It just happened too, just like
Podcast over.
podcast over.
See you
I
guys next
guess.
episode.
No, not even cutting this out.
There we go. Hell yeah.
I think it's like something about that USB.
I don't know. I just saw it.
Yeah.
I just looked up and I saw it wink out, and I was like,
Wink
It must have been USB. I'll have to.
it snapped
I'll
out.
do it later.
Tee.
He went, I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark.
That's out of the 4 things I've plugged in. That's only so he only quarter snapped this time. But anyway, so I saw Venom 1 and Venom 2. Those are movies.
That's how I would. Yeah.
Venom 1.
I've only seen-
definitely better
Yeah.
Which one?
I think the first one. I haven't seen the
Venom
second.
1.
Venom
You think
1's
Venom
okay.
1's better.
Then number 2, yeah.
Oh god, I don't know, man. Those movies are hard.
They're pretty funny though.
They're funny.
Yeah.
I think
That's
they're,
all they got going for them.
I think they're funny movies. Like Venom itself is a very funny character.
Yeah.
In the
So
movies.
funny.
But fuck, man, like the character he's attached to, he's interesting.
No, that version of Eddie Brock.
Eddie Brock, yeah.
Yeah.
He's more, I don't know, distraught, beat down.
He's a loser.
Yeah, that's probably the better word. I'm like, I understand it, but I think he would have been better with like a different host.
Yeah.
I don't think Eddie. I mean, I think that's what Eddie Brock is, though.
Probably, I can't remember.
I feel like that's what his character is.
I like the Eddie Brock that I know is the asshole one.
Topher Grace
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not him.
Yeah.
See,
No, because I always understood Eddie Brock as like the reason he lets the symbiote like take over is that's kind of what he is.
yeah,
Like he's kind of a dick in like the background, but he is like this like loser character. Like I hate Peter Parker because he's doing all this shit better than me and all this stuff. And he's a man fueled by envy.
But not yet in this movie, at least.
Yeah, no, yeah,
well,
obviously
because it's like a
Peter
different
Parker.
dimension.
Yeah,
and
because Peter
shit.
Parker doesn't exist in that film. So and that's
it was
always
owned by Sony. And
Yeah.
this is Sony Dimension.
yeah. So and that's always how I understood the Venom character to be until he I guess bonds with it to the degree and eventually becomes a god.
Yeah. Well, because
And King
like how it kind of feels in this one is, so Venom is like in the comics he is also a loser of the symbiotes.
Yeah.
So they got that right, but just Eddie was also a loser. So like it was like same characters. There's no like real play of like I'm way better or I have a different complex. They're basically the same person. But they just didn't play off as well
It's
as
like
I thought.
if you were like talking to a pet almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where I actually feel like Venom was talking to
Yeah.
him as the pet.
Yeah.
Can we eat this person? No, we can't eat. What about the bad ones? How do you know they're bad? You just know.
When they're in the prison scene, I thought it was so funny. They're all bad people here. They're not all bad. We've been watching Making a Murderer. Some of them are good. They just got I'm like, damn.
No one will miss them.
I always think like the Venom symbiotes, like the symbiotes are just so cool.
Yeah.
They're just such cool concepts. And like anytime they attach to a different host or a different person, it's such an interesting dynamic. And obviously in the comics, we've seen it in so many, different iterations. You have Eddie Brock. I don't remember fucking Scorpion's name, but that guy, Flash Thompson, which is the badass one, which is dope as fuck. You know, all these different like iterations of them. And I think that's what makes, leading up to something also, comic wise is like King in Black is just so dope.
I hope they go that direction.
I hope so.
At some point they
But
will, but I don't think it'll be.
I think there's a lot of setting up to do. Yeah. I do see you can. Because with the new Thor movie, you could begin.
Yeah, but
you can begin. You
don't
begin.
Jump to
No. You could. That's why I said you could begin. It's almost like what they did with DC. It's like what they did with Thanos.
Yeah.
Right. The slow trickle.
That's what it should be.
Yeah, and I feel like Null is such a good villain. Mm-hmm. So I feel like if they can do, I think this new set they're kind of going for they're kind of going the Kang the Conqueror route.
Yep.
Which is fine and that's great and that's a very easy way to like bring in like the Fantastic Four and stuff like this.
They already brought him in like 4 times.
Sure, but that's a good villain to bring them in because he's tied to them.
Hold up, what would be so funny if the Human Torch was
Ryan Reynolds? No, not Ryan Reynolds. Chris Evans.
I would fucking watch the shit out of that.
If he was Chris Evans again.
Yeah, that was funny. Anyway.
Yeah, but I feel like as they did with the King in Black story, because technically the Mighty Thor or whatever, Thor God of Thunder, I can't remember the name of that comic line where they're doing for the new one.
Yeah, I know.
With what's his face, Gore the God Butcher. Mm-hmm. It is a holy shit. Words are just leaving me today.
Come on, I got a joke I want to shoot out. Hurry up.
Do it. Now I'll spite you now. Just do it. It'll come back to me.
So Ryan Reynolds, going back to him real quick. He could be 2 characters at the same time. They could talk to each other in a Marvel movie.
Who's it gonna be?
He can be like
he
Deadpool.
Could be Wolverine
Deadpool and someone else.
And Deadpool.
They hire him as Wolverine.
Oh no, dude! What are they gonna do if they hire a new Wolverine?
They're gonna have to.
They're gonna have to, but
you have to
just move
rehire Hugh Jackman.
No, they're gonna have to. What they're probably gonna do is rehire all of X-Men. I think.
Of course.
That's gonna be a whole new slate of people.
Yeah,
that's what they're gonna have to do.
They're gonna get that bootleg Hugh Jackman was in one movie. I forgot what movie it was.
I forgot what movie it was too.
That bootleg Hugh Jackman.
Did we review that one?
Yeah,
we did.
I just don't remember what movie it was.
I think it was like 4 episodes ago.
Yeah.
I'll look.
But I think Hugh Jackman is I think he's the longest someone's been in character.
Army of the Dead.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He's like the longest Marvel character
he was
that's
part of the original X-Men.
Yeah, those first films all the way until Logan.
Yeah.
It'd be him or like Magneto and
Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart,
because they were there from the beginning too.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. And they've been in films with the weird time.
You gotta get
I kind of like
Fassbender.
Oh,
can see that. That'd be
Fassbender's Magneto's so
Real
good.
good.
Fassbender's such a good. I mean, I feel like in both sets, who they got for Xavier and Magneto, I feel like
The issue
we're
is
really good.
What do you do? What timeline? Do you do young or do you do old? Like,
Ooh.
like do you just bring in the
yeah.
original X-Men, or are we going like halfway through?
That's a good question.
Because this timeline is just brand new.
Oh yeah, you're just popping them in with multiverse shenanigans.
If you do the young ones, you could do Fassbender, and then you could do what's his name as Xavier,
McAvoy,
McAvoy, which I thought was
James
fun.
McAvoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could do that whole set. You can bring those guys back because they're still pretty young comparatively.
I mean, as a joke, they brought Quicksilver.
They did.
They did bring Quicksilver. That is true. That is true.
That was a low blow, though.
It was a very low blow.
I mean, that's what I said. As a joke, they did bring in Quicksilver.
It wasn't funny.
Also, the problem is if you do young, then you're missing out on Cyclops.
It's interesting. I don't know what they're going to do because you're bringing in Deadpool, right?
Yeah.
Like Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool is coming into the MCU at some point. Because I don't think anyone else is ever going to be Deadpool.
No one will touch Deadpool anymore. I think that's sealed fate. Like that and Green Lantern. Those are sealed.
but I feel like that's set in stone. So what do you do about like Colossus? Are you going to go the same person for Colossus?
Of course.
I mean, you had the technically the actors from First Class and stuff as a joke in Deadpool too. Yeah. So are they crossing over into the MCU? Is that what that's doing?
I don't know. I feel like if you recast Wolverine, people will riot.
But the problem is, I don't think Hugh Jackman can't do it anymore.
Yeah,
he's too old.
Well, he's not too old. I just don't think he wants to keep up.
No, he doesn't want. No, obviously.
Like the body image too, you'd have to keep at his age. It's getting hard.
CG.
You can be fat; it don't matter.
I mean, you're gonna have to. It's just at this point finding who would fit that space.
Well, see, I think Marvel did it perfectly because obviously they're two different sets of companies.
Yeah.
Because Marvel is now getting rid of Iron Man. They're moving him on.
Mm-hmm.
They're moving on Captain America.
Yep.
They moved him on perfectly, but since the other thing's owned by Sony, they can't do the same transition.
No.
And it's going to be just a hard hit.
Yep.
And everyone's just going to have to deal with it.
Which is probably why they're doing the whole multiverse thing in the first place. I mean, it's the easiest way because you now have these properties and these characters that should have been there the whole time, but aren't. I mean, you can pull like the Eternals bullshit, right? But I don't think that fits for your standard characters. People because it's funny because you look at some of these other teams and they're so integral to some of the bigger Marvel stories. Mm-hmm. I mean, no one, I don't know. The Fantastic Four is always one of those ones that you don't really think about or see, but they're like, those characters are so important to everything. So it's like, it'll be interesting to see them come in now when they should have been there, this whole time and just be shunting in.
Yeah.
Maybe if companies were an asshole and like, no, we own this character.
Well, I mean, it's not just that. I mean, I understand. Wanting to keep an IP, wanting to get the money for whatever's, and when you look at how comic book movies were when all this was being sold off anyway, you understand why things were done the way they are. And at the same time, like as much as I love a very connected Marvel universe, I mean, I'm not always a big fan of feeding the giant beast that is Disney.
They own everything.
I know, but I'm like, I mean,
and it is spread throughout like multiple streaming services. Assholes.
But I mean, that's the other thing. But I mean, it is nice to see something you've never been able to see before. And it's like such a large connected universe in cinema, right? Or you can argue really, 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 really long TV seasons.
Short episode or long episode, short seasons.
Yep.
So when are they recasting Peter Parker?
Next movie.
Yeah.
Or they're going to go the Miles Morales route?
They might go that route.
Oh, man, that's going to change everything so hard. Anyway, going back to Venom, since we're going to talk about it anyway, I did have issues with Venom's look when he was like full body. When he would just stand there, I'm like, man, that looks so weird. I don't like how he looks.
You know the second movie where he's just like in the costume party or whatever? He's like, well, just be me, yeah.
I thought it was funny as shit, but I'm looking at him like, man, that's so ugly. They couldn't fix the CG just a little bit.
Yeah.
Because like the posters look amazing.
Yeah.
Well, one's poster, and one's like,
Yeah.
I guess CG. It's harder, I guess.
Well, it's
Harder.
movement,
Yeah, exactly.
Lighting, all that
Uh-huh.
shit you got to deal with.
I didn't like what's his dude's name's Carnage.
You don't like
Yeah.
It was okay.
I wanted more crazy.
Yeah, so did I.
I wanted more like high pitched laughter.
And Siren was an interesting touch. Like they
Oh,
just
yeah.
put
Or
her
is
in
Shriek?
for no
Is Siren or
reason.
Shriek? It's
Like
Shriek, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's Shriek.
They just put her in. I felt like for no reason.
Yeah.
I was
Just to have
like-
another symbiote.
It wasn't even for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was kind of.
She was just there.
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh, this is what the bad guy's gonna save because we need more time in this
Yeah, I
movie
know.
than the hour and a half."
Oh, because it's not even her with the symbiote, right?
No,
it's just
no.
the
He's with the
character.
symbiote. Yeah.
character. Yeah.
Oh, that's
she's there
right.
because she fell in love with the dude.
Yeah.
And he's only gonna save her because they're in love. And the only reason why they put her in, I'm pretty sure, was to add the cop.
Oh,
For
okay.
having the cop there, they needed like 20 more minutes. So
She died
yeah,
They
she
kill,
died
they,
quickly.
they kill Shriek.
allegedly.
Yeah, they killed her pretty quickly.
Weird.
It was like last fight, and they're like, she's dead. Okay, let's move on. Let's
Weird.
have now the two symbiotes fight. You're like,
Weird.
okay.
Okay,
And then
whatever.
Venom wins.
No, obviously.
What?
and then he eats his son.
Obviously.
He eats the brain.
I wish the movie was gruesomer.
That's what I think.
Same.
I think the movie was PG.
It's
like,
extremely PG.
I'm like, there's no blood. There's no like heads popping off. Like, I
mean,
picture Venom doing.
if you were to have a character, or if there's a villain that deserves the hardcore treatment, it is Carnage.
Yes.
Of all the symbiotes of everything, Carnage is the one.
He's the crazy serial killer.
Yeah, exactly.
And he didn't do any crazy serial killer things.
No.
No. And I had a feeling that might have been the case when they announced what the rating for this film was and everything. And
Well, which makes sense.
I understand why they're doing what they're doing. It's just it's sad, right? Well, like even like I do. That's why I do appreciate some of like what were the Netflix shows, right?
Yeah.
Because you were allowed to give someone the Punisher.
Gruesomeness.
Yeah, what the Punisher was, right? Because that's what he is. And I feel like Marvel just has that darker side, and I would love if they just embraced it.
Dude, I heard they were recasting for Mac Murdock.
Oh,
And I'm like, no.
they're going to.
Oh, it makes me so sad
But
because
this guy is the
he was
best.
such a good Daredevil.
But he was Netflix and not Marvel.
I know.
Totally.
I mean,
I know.
out of all the shows, it's like the only thing I ever wish they would have saved is him as Daredevil and Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only thing I would want to be.
I don't picture they're
saved.
going to be in movies
No.
because he's not really a superhero.
No.
He's just a really strong blind dude.
I mean, it's interesting because him as a character
Oh, he's a
does
great
put
character.
does put himself in very prominent roles. It like
He's Batman if he was blind and poor.
and poor, yeah.
He's like the guy that he thought the guy at Best Buy. He's like, you're poor.
This fucking guy. Oh my god. We're fucking buying this TV, right?
So off topic, but it's perfect.
And then Ford was buying me a controller. And this fucking dude was like, do you want insurance for your remote? And we're like, no.
No, he asked first on the TV.
Oh, yeah. And we're like, no.
I'm like, nah, we'll be fine. Let's not doing
But for the
anything.
remote, he was very adamant. Like, do you want the insurance?
He asked me like 4 times. He's like,
He's
do you
like,
want insurance? I'm
"Do
like,
you
nah, we'll
make
be good.
commissions out of insurance for remotes? Or
I'm
what?"
like, we're good. And he's like, you sure? I look back at Bob. I'm like, you gonna break it? He's like, no. He's like, no, we're good. He's like, are you sure? I'm like, if he breaks it, it's his money. He's buying it. I don't care personally. He's like, okay. I'm like, go away. I'm just buying my stuff. Don't bother me.
Who buys insurance for controllers?
I don't know.
As a Dark Souls player, you snap it.
He thought we were poor.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I forgot what we were talking about.
Anyway, Venom,
Venom,
1 and 2.
Daredevil.
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
So in Venom, they got upset at each other.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they like left.
Uh-huh.
I was like, fuck, I hate this shit.
I forgot about that. That's gonna skew my rating now because I forgot about that whole part where he left, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, yeah, this is a good movie, better than the first one, I guess. And now I'm like, fuck, he wasn't in half the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know, Brock is just such a bad character. Like,
Uh-huh.
it's a good actor. He acted himself fine. It's just a horribly written character.
Yeah, no, obviously. I mean, Tom Hardy is
issue is
amazing actor.
I don't know what they're gonna do with the next movie, so I'm just gonna spoil it. At the end,
Yeah.
you see they get somehow time traveled or dimensional traveled into the present Peter Porker.
Peter Porker.
Yep. Like, I'm gonna mess up, might as well go all the way through. So it's like with Brock and Venom, they don't seem like that type of I want to kill you.
Eddie Brock doesn't have the same dynamic with Peter Parker that he is in the comics.
No.
I'm like, you can't hate him if you don't know the
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
Well, I can understand Venom hating him because he still, I think, has that like mentality.
I don't think Venom hates him. I think he's just like fascinated with like this guy, or at least from just that clip where he's like, let me lick him.
But I don't know what's gonna happen because Brock can stop Venom most of the time. He can almost like say fuck off a little bit. So what's he gonna do when he's fighting a good guy? Like, is Brock just gonna be like, okay, I disappear into Venom's body and we won't have the comedy duo anymore? I just can't see these two being serious.
Yeah.
As a bad guy.
This was gonna happen.
Or maybe the symbiote just moves.
This was gonna happen.
Could be.
He's gonna get split in two by Doctor Strange. You know, he's like, he does that whole like, you leave your soul out of your body and shit.
The Wing Chun.
Yeah.
Like that. So he's gonna separate the good Brock and the bad Eddie Brock with the bad Venom. Because I'm like, fuck
There's
Peter
a good
Parker.
Venom. We go off chilling
And
together.
and then the good Venom dies. Or gets stuck in a different dimension.
I was picturing
whatever.
that, like the good Brock and the good Venom. They're just like, they go to dance parties and shit or something
Yeah,
stupid.
they just return to the dimension they were from, and then the bad Venom is stuck with the Peter Parker dimension. I don't know.
Like Venom's one of those. I mean, those movies. Venom's such a good anti-hero.
They didn't make him that.
They didn't make him
They
that.
made him a comedy guy. I'm like, fuck.
They tried to do the Marvel treatment.
Yeah.
Terrible.
They did it over.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they overdid
Where
it.
I like Shang Chi, they had all the seriousness and they'd have the joke. It was like
just all jokes.
they had all jokes and then they'd be like, serious moment. Don't you feel sad for me? Like, no, I don't. Fuck off. Move on.
It's like a DC movie.
So I will say, watching the first one made me sad. Saw Stan Lee again. I'm like,
that's right.
Yeah.
I saw him. I'm
That's
like, no,
right.
Stan Lee, my bro. I miss him. But I'm gonna give these movies. Throw
5.
together.
Yeah.
Together. It's 5. So I gave the first one a 4.
Okay. It's like a 1.
No, I gave the second one a 6 because of the ending.
Because
I was like, dude, that time travel thing.
oh, like the beach ending.
No, just, yeah, I guess kind of. I was like, seeing Spider-Man, that was a real good twist. Rest of the movie's ass.
Obviously,
I hope he's not in.
I don't think so. It
if
might be
you-
a cameo.
Who?
I hope for a cameo, but not like.
No, not in
Venom
it.
in
I mean, this next movie's
I don't
already
know.
going to be so fucking saturated with
If
villains.
this movie's not like 12 hours long, it's too short.
It's
Like,
not
I
just-
hate long movies,
I think he
but
said it's
it's
like 3 hours.
it's
or,
gotta
like,
be.
close
It's gotta
to-
be.
It's got
It's so saturated. Like,
oh god.
out of all people, Spider-Man has always had a problem when there's more than one villain in the movie. Always.
That third one's always the shittiest too.
Well, the middle one didn't have a third one, right?
That's
You're not
why.
wrong. You're telling me Spider-Man 3 is shitty? Did you see the dance scenes?
But
The edginess.
and it's funny because those villains are coming. Well, I guess spoiler-ish, but I mean,
What?
Everyone's in the trailer.
Everyone's in the fucking trailer.
I
So
haven't seen the trailer.
And if you haven't, what are you doing? It's on YouTube. You're already on YouTube.
I'm here. I haven't seen it.
I'll show you.
I want
No,
to see it.
no, it's fine. He'll just watch the movie. Yeah, at this point, he already knows.
I already know.
I mean,
From
it's
knowing the comics,
Yeah,
you just
yeah,
know.
exactly. It's like every single fucking villain is in the and there's a
See,
problem that happens with oversaturation of characters.
So what I'm hoping is that they're like, you've probably seen all the Spider-Man movies from good to shitty. We're not gonna do the backstories for all these villains.
I don't think they plan on it.
No, to me, these are the exact same villains that they were in these movies.
I'm pretty sure that's exactly what they're
I'm hoping for. Because if they do that, you're cutting at least like 3 hours.
I think that's what they are. Well, I mean, you haven't seen.
You do add something.
No, I'm saying like you haven't seen the trailer, but I it's very strongly
Yeah,
that
it's a
is
trailer. Like,
yeah, but it's very strongly that is what their plan is.
Yeah.
Because it's like the way there's certain character interactions and stuff. It's very clear that it is the villains from those films transplanted into this universe.
So they already did the heavy work. I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So, Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin is the same guy, just he didn't die.
Yeah.
Or Otto Octavius is Doc Ock, but he just didn't die.
But I saw Goblin die, dude. I saw him get pierced.
No, you see,
Anyone can survive
Big
a
brain.
piercing.
it is before the piercing. He
Oh,
just shuts it out, dude.
Oh shit!
It's another universe, my dude.
Yeah.
It's a different version of him.
But you have I think Jamie Foxx is coming back as Electro.
I never understood his Electro.
I
wish it would have been recasted, but anyway.
Oh, whatever. But his new costume looks like more comic accurate.
Yeah.
Than
the
in the
fucking first one.
yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
The same guy for Sandman is coming back too. He was probably the better villain
He was.
in Spider-Man 3.
It would have been him and someone else.
Yeah. Because that Topher Grace was okay. That was bad. That was such a bad Venom.
He was not okay. He was just bad.
Yeah, it was
Straight
just
up
bad. It was just a bad
Not
Venom.
his fault, but kind of.
And what's his face? Dave Franco is Hobgoblin.
Oh god.
I think both iterations of Hobgoblin have just not been good. Because it was his, and then the one guy whose name I can't pronounce in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Andrew Garfield.
No. He was Spider-Man. The other guy. The guy who plays Harry.
The other guy that plays Harry in Amazing Spider-Man 2 should have been Carnage.
No, I feel like he's too wooden of an actor to do that, maybe.
I don't even know. I just by looks.
Oh, by looks? That
Yeah,
that kind of makes sense. I
yeah.
can understand that. But yeah. I don't
They
know.
should have gotten Joffrey.
He doesn't act anymore.
He just he banged on the Game of Thrones money.
No, he got bullied to shit because of Game of Thrones, and he
why.
doesn't act anymore.
Wow.
Because people don't understand how to separate actor from the role.
Wow.
They're one and the same.
He was playing himself.
He was playing himself.
Fuck that guy.
But yeah,
Can't wait for
5.
the new Marvel movies.
Still gotta watch Hawkeye.
Oh, that just
Like
released.
on episode 3.
I gotta watch so much shit. I'm so behind.
He hasn't watched Loki.
Haven't watched Loki?
I haven't watched any of the TV shows.
Damn.
Star Wars is coming out. That's the next thing I'm gonna watch before then.
Mandalorian or the
No,
Boba Fett
the Boba Fett.
book of Boba Fett. Yeah, that's right.
Is that one next month?
This month.
November?
Oh, sorry, December.
Oh yeah, it's December. The Witcher's December.
Shit. I have to finish
All
the
these
first season.
You haven't
All
finished
these-
The Witcher first season? What the fuck?
all these movies.
The Wheel of Time.
I don't know if I want to watch
I'm
that.
not gonna watch that.
The one show that you were
Foundation.
Foundation.
It's ass.
Okay, good.
Or maybe I'm just too dumb, but it just doesn't make sense.
Oh, okay.
You're probably too dumb.
I don't know.
Too dumb.
I don't know how to
I'm
take
like,
that
bro,
one.
Look at all this dialogue, and it doesn't make sense.
I mean, it's a show based on a book that is
Based on
about
another show.
It's about yeah, exactly. Based on a book that's more about concept than plot.
Forrest wouldn't like it because it jumps like back and forth.
That makes
time.
fuck that shit.
that makes sense.
But it's called Wheel of Time, so am I surprised?
No, that's Foundation. That's
fine.
fine.
Wheel of Time is
Like
linear.
a lot of people consider Foundation to be like one of the cornerstones of sci-fi, like literature, and I understand.
Dune?
Yeah, kinda. It's in that wheelhouse, which I understand. I feel like there's more of Isaac Asimov that's a lot better than Foundation, because Foundation is okay. It's not great.
Maybe that one's the one that sold the most books.
It has now because it's
TV show.
yeah. But then again, the last adaptation of an Asimov work that we had wasn't great either.
What was it?
iRobot.
I heard iRobot's good.
So
It's pretty decent.
So all
It
you
was
guys
okay.
are telling me is we gotta watch a lot of shit right now.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Let's end this shit so we can go start watching.
Let's go.
Alrighty.
See you
Thank you
guys.
everybody for listening.
Make sure you subscribe.
Subscribe, like, suggest.
Comment.
If you're on YouTube, we're on every other platform. If you're on Spotify or other platforms, subscribe to our YouTube.
Shout out to our fan that gave us the Asuka one.
Oh.
One day we'll get a P.O. box so you can also send this shit.
Don't send us shit.
No. Thank
Send
you,
us
everybody.
good stuff.
Until next time. Peace.
Bye-bye.